So, did you turn 40 or 45 and suddenly need reading glasses all the time? Like even to read the giant print on your phone? Were you constantly searching for your eyeglasses, squirreling them away in your purse, in your desk, in your car, constantly trying to find them and then realizing, oh, they're on my head right here? What if I told you you could turn back time and get rid of these reading glasses forever? Are you ready to turn back time? This is Laurie Majka, and as a former Pfizer pharmaceutical sales rep, I've learned a lot about how to research products to determine efficacy and to interpret clinical trials. It is armed with this information that I bring to you solutions that I've uncovered to help me turn back time. And today we are going to discuss how to correct your vision and get rid of these reader eyeglasses forever. So, back in 2019, I actually had something kind of lucky happen to me. I got pink eye. Now, how in the world could that be lucky? Well, it just so happened that I had to go and get a prescription to clear up the pink eye from my optometrist. And when I went to visit him, I began immediately complaining about my use of these stupid reading glasses. And I was so fed up with how much I was dependent on them. I was already up to a 3.5, which is a pretty strong prescription. And I was swirling them all over the place, and I was really just at my wit's end. And so we began talking about different solutions for getting rid of eyeglass frames. And the one that he mentioned that really intrigued me was a brand new lens that had just been approved 3 months earlier in April of 2019. And it was the PanOptix Tri-Focal Lens. And the way that this lens works is that it has 3 different levels of vision that it's able to correct. So usually when you would implant some type of a lens, you would only get 1 or maybe 2 types of vision correction. You need to be able to see up close to read something, to read your phone, and then you need to be able to see at a mid-range distance to do things like cook, get ready for work on your computer, and then of course you need to be able to see far away, to drive, to hike, to just be out in the world. I was really looking for that solution that would address all of these issues. And luckily for me, this company had just finally gotten FDA approval for this lens in the United States. Now, it's funny, as a pharmaceutical sales rep, I encountered this a lot in the different drugs that I sold. Usually, most drugs, most procedures are approved overseas, sometimes months and even years before they get final approval in the United States. And in this company's case, they had built a lens that had already been implanted in 120 million people worldwide. But this was a brand new version of the lens with a trifocal vision. And it had just gotten approved, but was still in 70 countries worldwide. So it had a lot of clinical trials and a lot of human use behind it that gave me the confidence to make the decision to move forward with trying this lens. And the way that the lens works is that you have a cataract surgery. Now, I know, look at me, I'm in my early 50s. I'm clearly not old enough for cataract surgery, but that's the way this lens works. They use the same procedure as a cataract surgery, which to me made it even more of a viable option because cataract surgeries are done in the millions around the world, and certainly in the US. And my particular doctor's office, the doctor had done thousands and thousands of these surgeries. But instead of implanting a normal single vision lens, you instead implant this trifocal lens. And in the clinical trials, more than 99% of patients said that they would absolutely implant this same lens again. So I was sold. Even though the lens had only been out for a few months, I made the decision to get all of my eye tests done and see if I was really and truly going to be a candidate for this procedure. So I had all the tests done, and I do have astigmatism, and this astigmatism is actually able to use this lens. So whether you have one or not, it's safe to use this lens. So that was really good news for me. And then I had to look into the price because this is something that was not going to be covered by my insurance. I was going to have to be paying for this out of pocket. This is still considered a cosmetic surgery because obviously I'm too young to be eligible for cataract surgery. Had I had a surgery or wanted to have this trifocal lens at a later date, maybe in my 60s or late 60s or even 70s, when people traditionally have cataract surgeries, my insurance probably would have covered most, if not all of this procedure, maybe not all of the lens. It might have been considered an upgrade, but in my case, I was going to have to pay out of pocket. So I talked to my doctor, I did all of my tests, and when they looked at it, my distance vision was actually really good in both eyes. So we made the decision to just put one single lens in my right eye, which happened to be my non-dominant eye. And it's easier for your eyes to get used to a trifocal lens when you are using it in one eye in the non-dominant eye. So that was what we decided. And I got ready for the procedure, and I decided to have this in January of 2020. So this had been formally approved for several months, and I felt very comfortable and confident with the place that I used to have my surgery. I also did a little bit of due diligence, and I shopped around. I actually shopped at an optical place in Kansas City because I had a lot of business trips to Kansas City. And then I also took a look at my local optometrist location in Arizona. And I was really surprised to find that there was a price difference in having this procedure done in Kansas City versus having it in Arizona. Just like most things, there are different markups that are employed by different places, and the Kansas City procedure was going to cost me about $1,000 more than the procedure if I had it done in Arizona. So ultimately, I had it done here where I lived. And prior to having the surgery, they give you several prescriptions that you need to go and fill for eye drops. And you begin those eye drop treatments a week in advance. And other than that, there wasn't anything I needed to do other than make sure that I wasn't taking any type of blood thinner or any type of NSAID that would potentially thin your blood. And then I was cleared to have the surgery. I had the surgery on a Monday morning, and it was done in a matter of minutes. It actually took them longer to prep my eyes for kind of putting you in a twilight phase and having the numbing drops put in than it did to have the actual surgery done. This is a laser surgery, so it's extremely accurate and it's done very, very quickly. And then I left with some pain meds and some more drops and a patch on my eye, and I had to be driven home. And then I slept really well that night. And the next morning, when I removed my patch, I couldn't believe it. I was able to look at my phone and actually focus on it and see for the first time without any reading glasses. This was so exciting. I cannot even tell you how much freedom I have experienced in having this procedure done. I think one of the things that was the hardest for me is that in my job, I was in this constant need to take notes and then look at other people in a meeting. And for me, as soon as I would be done taking my notes and I would look at somebody, they would be blurry. And it was just so frustrating to be on and off all day long. I felt like that's what I was doing. And if you're in this situation, I am preaching to the choir. Okay, so let's talk about the costs. I already explained that if you are probably younger than the desirable age for cataract surgery, you're going to have to pay out of pocket. So this procedure with everything included, including all of my prescription eye drops that I had to take, cost me $5,090. And of course, had I had any type of a health savings plan through my insurance, I would be able to use that, which is pre-tax money that is set aside to use for medical procedures. And this is absolutely an approved medical procedure. In addition, if you are a person that does your taxes and you are able to itemize your taxes, you can actually write off the percent. There's a percentage and a scale, and it depends on your income and a lot of other things, but talk to your accountant or do some research online, or even send me an email or ask me in the comments about this, but I'll direct you to the way that you can actually write off a good portion of this surgery procedure. My optical place also offered a 0% 36-month credit card. So if I wanted to divide the payments into 36 equal portions and pay it off in 3 years with 0% interest, I was able to do that as well. So there are so many options. I am super happy that I had this done. I am absolutely one of those people that would have this procedure done again. And I'm really glad that I just did it in one eye, because my vision is actually better than 2020, if you can believe it, which actually happened in a lot of the case studies. Now, there are a couple of common side effects, and some of that has to do with a haloing that you might experience around lights, and it might impair or impede your nighttime vision while you're driving. I did absolutely experience this. There were halos around everything, halos around all of the incoming headlights from the cars. There were halos around the stoplights. There was a halo around the moon. But for me, this actually started to resolve after about 6 months. And I would say that it is completely, I'm almost 2 years post-surgery, it is almost completely unnoticeable. I never notice it. It definitely is there, because if I wink my eye and close that eye that has the lens, the trifocal lens in it, yes, I absolutely can still see that there's a difference between my two eyes, but it's negligible and it did not hurt me for driving at all. The other advantage of having it in just one eye is that when I was getting ready to pull out into traffic and I could see the haloing, I would just close that eye for a second and drive with my dominant eye, so that I didn't have to experience the haloing, because it was a little bit more significant in the beginning than it is now. And the last thing I want to mention about having this surgery is that both of the places that I looked into also offered the ability to have a laser corrective surgery if you needed it for up to 2 years post-surgery. So if you did not get the vision results that you were looking for, they had a second laser procedure that they could use to even further correct your vision. And that was included free of price in the cost of getting this procedure done. So that's it in a nutshell. Yes, the answer is yes. You absolutely can turn back time on your eyes. This is a permanent procedure. I don't see any reason why you cannot look into this. Talk to your doctor about it. I will have some links below to the website so you can see what this lens actually is. And I would love to hear from you. Is this something that you would consider doing? Is this something maybe that you've already done? Or maybe you've had another procedure done, but as far as I know, this is the only FDA approved trifocal lens on the market, even today, 2 years post my surgery. So share your experiences so that we can all learn from it. And of course, make sure you're hitting that subscribe button and the bell so that you're notified when I have more videos to help you turn back time. I'm so glad that you're here. As always, this channel is about enhancing your outer beauty, but you may already know that I am super, super passionate about helping you connect with your inner empowerment and your inner beauty. So if you'd like to join me on my Laurie Majka YouTube channel, I will have a video at the end that you can connect to help you connect with your inner empowerment. I'm so glad that you're here. Please share this video with anybody who's ready to get rid of their eyeglasses, their reading glasses forever.